Hello, welcome to Green Beauty Pharmacy. May I first see some identification, please? Thank you. Okay, how can I help you today? Oh, I'm so sorry you're not feeling well. Yes, that type of cold is going around. Yes, I'm happy you came in. I will help you. First, I'm just going to get you registered, and then we'll go take a look at all of our cold and flu medicine together, okay? And can you please verify the address? All right. And your telephone number? And your emergency contact? And what is their relationship to you? Okay. Very good. And can you please verify where you receive your medical care regularly? And the name of your doctor, please. Great. And just a few more questions just for our research and database. Tell me a little bit about the symptoms you're experiencing. Okay. Do you have a fever currently? No fever. So you've been coughing for quite some time. Okay. And you're experiencing some post-nasal drip, is that right? And when you're coughing, is it a wet cough or a dry cough? It's both. Okay. Depending on the time of day. All right. I'm so sorry. We'll definitely get you some medication to help you out. And how about any stuffy nose or blocked nose? Yes. Yes, I've got something for that I'm going to show you in just a few. And do you have a scratchy throat, a dry throat, or any soreness going on? You do? Wow. All right. I've got some things for that as well. Okay, and can you remember the last time that you were sick? Last year, around this time. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, so if you're going to follow me this way, we'll go ahead and take a look at what we've got for you. Okay, so we are at the cold and flu section of the pharmacy. We're going to talk a lot about your symptoms now, but we're going to begin with the nighttime symptoms, okay? I have a selection of syrups for you that might help target some of your challenges that you're facing in the evening. To begin with, we'll start with this one. Now, this is a cherry-flavored syrup. This is designated for the nighttime, and it targets several things. It will help with any achiness you might have and also the sore throat. It is a cough suppressant as well, and it does help with the runny nose and sneezing. Now, this does contain an antihistamine and 10% alcohol, and that means that it's really going to make you sleepy. Now, of course, 10% alcohol is for the bottle completely, not per serving. So this is really going to help you get a restful sleep. In terms of dosage for this particular product, we're looking at taking about 30 mils at bedtime, okay? Now, it's important that you redose every 4 to 6 hours thereafter. So, for example, if you take this right at bedtime and then you wake up 4 hours later coughing and feeling yucky again, that's when it's time to get up and take another dose, okay? And there's no problem with that. All right, and there are some contraindications here if you have some other things going on. So if you choose to do this one, I will give you all of that information at checkout. Now, in addition to that one, we do carry this syrup here. This is much stronger. Though this is marketed for a dry cough, you can use it for either or. The bottom line is that this contains codeine, which is responsible for relaxing the muscles that are the ones that make you cough, okay? So that's how this works. There's nothing else in this that reduces fever or anything around helping sore throat. This is simply a codeine-based syrup that helps relieve the coughing. So you would take this you could take this throughout the day, but if it was most important at night, you could take it at night. So for this one, the dose is quite small, and 5 mils just to be taken throughout the day. If you find that 5 milligrams is not enough, you can take a little bit more, but you would need to consult with your physician first. This doesn't really have a flavor to it. It is just a syrup. So this one, I'd recommend if you have tried everything else. This is sort of a last resort, okay? So those are the nighttime syrups. Now for bedtime, it's always important to take your syrups, use your nose spray as part of that, and go to sleep with a lozenge in your mouth. Let's talk about these nose sprays. So we have this one here. This is Dimista. This is a nasal spray with 130 micrograms per use, okay? Now in here there's two ingredients that really help to open the nasal way, which is helpful at nighttime when you feel like you can't breathe. So this is really important to use, 1 spray per nostril. Now this one includes a variety of ingredients. This is prescription only, and this is going to be stronger than both of these, okay? However, many people report having great success with the Sudafed blocked nose spray. This is the spray that you do 1 spray per nostril, and it just opens everything up, okay? That's right. And you can use this 2 to 3 times daily as well. And the one thing with this one is you don't want to use it more than 3 times in 24 hours, because what happens is the lining of your nose begins to get really irritated, and it can cause bleeding, or it can cause little tears in the nose as well. So you have that one, and then you have this one, okay? Now this has other ingredients, and I think for your needs, you could go with the Sudafed blocked nose, okay? I think that would be a good place to start. And, you know, if you find that those aren't doing much, or maybe they're a little bit too strong, you're definitely able to use this as well. This is the Afrin nose drip. This is a pump mist, and you can use this for allergies, but also colds, and it does give you 24 hours of relief. Now in this one, you are doing just 1 squirt per nostril as well. So I think to start, you should do the Sudafed, and we can talk about other options if needed. Now, in terms of your lozenges, let's take a look at those. I have left these out for you to sample if you're interested. And we've got a couple types here. We have the Strepsils, the honey and lemon lozenges, okay? Now these have alcohol and that ingredient as well. So this is really going to help soothe your throat for quite a long time, okay? And this one also has the antiseptic ingredient, which is really, really helpful. And it's really nice to really get rid of that bacteria and keep your throat nice and clear. It does target the throat infections specifically, so that's quite nice. And with these lozenges, you just use them as needed, which is pretty much every 2 to 3 hours. If you are finding that you're coughing a lot more than that, you can definitely have one every hour. Be careful not to take more than 12 lozenges a day, okay? So you've got this as an option, which are these. Well, a different type of those. Then we have a little bit of a cheaper version here. Now this is the Sore Throat Relief Double Action. This is also honey and lemon. This is pretty much the same thing as Strepsils. It's just cheaper. It's a little bit cheaper. So let's take a look inside. It comes just like that, okay? As an alternative to those, we do have these. If you like the container a little bit better in this nice tin, the Pulmol. And these have an additional vitamin C component. So these are a little bit less medicated than these two options here. And these are used just for a little bit more of a soothing action. So this is not going to have any antiseptic or anything like that. It's just more for soothing throughout the day. So if you're finding that you're starting to get better but a little bit of a scratchy throat, something like this would be nice to hold on to as well. So we have covered the nighttime syrup, in addition to the nasal sprays that you might be able to use, and the soothing action for the throat. Let's take a look on over here. Now, I know that you mentioned you had a little bit of a wet cough as well. This product here, this is Mucinex DM. This product works wonders on a wet cough, particularly any unproductive cough. So if you're finding that you feel like you have mucus in your lungs, this is really going to help with that. This is an expectorant and cough suppressant. So what this does is it thins and loosens the mucus in the lungs and helps to make coughing, when you do cough, more productive. And it's also a cough suppressant, okay? So you might have a few coughs here and there that will be productive, but it really will help any major coughing fits that you find yourself having, okay? So this is really an immediate release, or immediate, you get immediate relief when you first use this. And this lasts for 12 hours, so it's one a day. Okay, and now the active ingredient is this in this product are two complicated but not so complicated ingredients that work to be an expectorant and a cough suppressant. Now with this, you want to be careful not to crush, chew, or break the tablet, and you do want to take this with a full glass of water. And you're just taking one tablet every 12 hours. So never are you taking more than 2 in 24 hours, okay? I suggest you start with this as well. So in addition to that, we have Sudafed. Now this is actual Sudafed, so if you are sensitive to caffeine or any other stimulants, I caution you to be very careful when using medication that contains this, okay? This Sudafed is designated for congestion in the nose. So this is really the nasal decongestant, and it really helps relieve that sinus pressure that builds up when we're sick. And what you do with this one, so it is non-drowsy. With this one, what you're going to do, you take one tablet every 4 hours, okay? So you do just need one tablet, and you remedicate every 4 hours. This is really going to help with that sinus congestion and pressure, and also it you can even use this for allergies and not just for colds. So we have that as an option. Next, we have the Tylenol Cold and Flu Sphere, okay? So this is sort of a combination of this, of the Mucinex, and it's basically this with additional pain relief, okay? Mucinex does not have any pain relief in it. This is going to help be a fever reducer, helps with the cough, it helps with any body aches, it helps with the nasal congestion and the mucus and chest congestion. So this is an expectorant as well. which is really helpful. So the difference between these two is that this has, like I said, pain reliever, fever reducer, whereas this does not. And because you said that you don't have a fever, that's why I suggest you go with this one. Now, if you were to use this one, the dosing for this particular product is just taking 2 tablets every 4 hours, okay? And a cheaper alternative here to the Sudafed that we see here is this one, the Max Strength Congestion Relief. This is the 12.2 milligram capsules. So this is cleaning out the blocked nose as well. This is not going to be as strong as the sinus Sudafed, but it might do the job. So this is basically a pill form of one of these sprays for you, okay? So it's really just about how you want to administer this medication for you. If you do choose to do this one, you do 1 capsule every 6 hours. And don't you worry, I will remind you of all dosing instructions upon checkout. We do have some antibiotics for you if you find that these over-the-counter medications do not work. This is something that has to be prescribed, but should you have any problem with any of these medications, you give us a call and we'll have you return on over for some antibiotics. Now we have this Lemsip Max. This is really nice because it's you can make it hot. It's a warming fluid that really soothes the throat. So this is basically a drinkable form of a medication that helps with chesty coughs, sore throat, blocked nose, body aches, and a fever. So this has the same ingredient in Mucinex and the Tylenol Cold and Flu Severe. It's just that it also, just like Tylenol, has the pain relief as well, okay? With this one, it comes in little packets like this. Lemon flavored. And what you do is you pour the contents of the sachet into a mug filled with hot but not boiling water, and you're just going to stir it up until it's completely dissolved. You are able to add honey if you like, which might help soothe the sore throat as well. And you want to be careful because you're using 1 sachet every 4 to 6 hours, okay? So you're never having more than 4 in one day. And this does contain paracetamol as well, which is basically like Tylenol. Okay? So that's an option if you prefer to have that be the way you administer your meds. And with every sick individual who comes into the pharmacy, I always make sure that they pick up one of these. This is the Emergency 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. This has other B vitamins and electrolytes in it. This particular flavor is tangerine. So this is always really helpful to have when you're sick. You should be drinking it throughout the day as needed. And what you only do is you just do 1 packet a day. So you could sip on that particular drink throughout the day or just gulp it all up. It's about 4 to 6 ounces of water required. And then you just pour that in, stir it up really nice, and drink it. So this particular product does help with immune support, like I said. Gives you some energy with those B vitamins in there. No caffeine. And it does replenish any lost electrolytes. If you've had a fever, you've been sweating a lot. Like I said, this is caffeine-free, gluten-free, vegetarian, and there are only natural sweeteners, okay? So also some tissue for you. I know with a runny nose, it's so time consuming, and you want to make sure you keep some tissues with you at all times. And of course, one of the most important things when we are sick is to constantly keep our hand and living space clean. If you are unable to wash your hands with warm water and soap, which is the #1 suggested way, then you have products like this, okay? So you've got some hand gel here that is 99.99% bacteria reducing. And you also have some wipes, okay? Now these are basically this in a wipe form. So I suggest you take some of these as well, okay? So based on all of that, very much hefty information I have given you, what are you thinking? Okay, yes, you want to take the syrup. That's great. The Mucinex, the Sudafed, and the Strepsils, okay? You're going to take one of these and one of this. Good. And did you feel like you need this? You've got some at home. Great. Yes, I think with what we have selected here, you will be taken care of just fine with these over-the-counter medications. And if you have any problems, you give us a call. So let's go on back to the cash register and we'll get you all checked out. Okay, item number 1. Okay, let's get these in a bag. Okay. There you go. You are all set. I do hope that we have helped you today at this pharmacy. And like I said before, if you find any trouble with any of these products, please give us a call and we would love to continue to accommodate you. Have a wonderful day and be well.